Today's session, we are going to talk about default and static methods in Java 8. So as we know, earlier Java version, right, in interface level, we don't have options to declare a concrete method, right? In Java 8, we have a flexibility to have this feature like default and static methods. So why we need and what is the usage of it? So let's explore on it. So the default method is a capability to provide a method along with its implementation in an interface. So this is one of the capability which provides a concrete implementation in the interface level. So when you define a default method, you should start with default. It's a key word and followed by the method return type and required arguments. So the default method can be overridden or redefined their implementation in the class level. So why exactly needed? That is where the question, why we need exactly this default methods in Java 8? Let's think about the scenario. So I have an interface. I've implemented some 30 classes implemented. And this time I got one new requirement to add one new feature or functionality to that interface. So what going to happen if I add one method, abstract method to the interface? What is going to happen? You need to modify all your existing classes. Wherever you were implemented, you should modify those classes. So instead, if I had introduced this default, right, it's a concrete. All we know it's a concrete kind of method writing. So if you have your functionality in the interface level, all your changes will be preserved. That means the backward compatibility will be preserved, right? That is what here have made this point. The capability is added for backward comparability so that old interface can be used to leverage the lambda expression capability of Java. So you can take an example also, list and collection. You don't have for each method declaration. In this way, the backward compatibility nearly preserved without having a refactoring the implementation, right? So in the diagram, just think about parent is one interface and remaining below all childs or class implementation classes. So if I make any changes in the interface, what will happen? Other classes will start complaining. So that there's a contract, right? You should implement that uh, the new abstract method in the all the implementation classes. Instead, I don't need to stop other classes, but I want to make define my own. I mean, introduce a new feature. So that scenario, the default will be play the major role. So you can have the method in your interface level so that you can use those that method and all your implementation classes. Also, it will be supports the lambda expression, right? So that is the major block, and the question still comes like we can use abstract class instead interface. So that there is other kind of questions. Why we need interface and default with the default method. So here the key differences. So in default, variables are public static final. No instant variable can be declared. But whereas in abstract, the scope of declaring is variable. And never deals with the state of object is introduced only for the backward compatibility. This is what we need to understand, right? So one major part why we have this default method is preserving its backward compatibility. That is the one major point that why we have this default. And the third part is constructor can't be declared. In the interface, we don't have option to declare a constructor, but in abstract. But Abstract is more powerful compared to interface, but the only difference when you have the new functionality to be implemented instead of disturbing any other base classes, right? So then this is the best option, right? And the fourth point, not allowed to declare instant and static blocks. So in interface, it will not allow you to create an instant variable or define any static blocks. But whereas in abstract class, you can define it, right? So, and also here, the functional interface with the default method can be used to refer lambda expression. You got it? After abstract can't abstract like can't be used be reference of lambda expression. So basically it will not accept that is the rule. Okay. And object class method can be overridden. Here the concept, if you define uh, method can be overridden, but here you have an option to override the object methods, right? So the next point is static methods. What is static methods? Static methods belongs to the class rather than object of a class. A static method can be invoked without the need of creating any sort of class. That means you don't need to instantiate to invoke the method. You can directly use the interface name and then you can directly access your static method. That is what the term means. So static method can access static data member and can change the value of it. So here the other definitions, like defining a static method within an interface is identically define one in a class. Moreover, a static method can be invoked within other static and default methods. Overriding concept is not applicable in static methods. You can also declare main method inside a inside an interface. It will run successfully. You understand? Okay. Now I'm going to give you some real-time program how to define the static. So here I've created one interface where I have declared one abstract and one default and one static method. So this is basically a functional kind of interface, right? So go to the main class. Yeah, here I can directly access my static method, and for accessing the default one, just I need to have one instant, and based on this instant, like I've implemented this apps inter, and with the help of this, I can call my uh, default method. If I run this code, it gives me the output. Okay, friends, this is what I want to share today to you, and we'll catch you in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel, Tech Guru. Today's session, we are going to talk about